everyone สวัสดีค่ะ Once again a very welcome back to Mimi Recap and I hope everyone is having an amazing day. I know that some of us are waiting for this video badly because I know that you guys are so into this Kinnporsche the series and I have been saying that I'm gonna do the recap about the side couple from the series, Vegas and Pete. And today the wait is over. I'm gonna talk about Vegas and Pete from Kinnporsche the series.
Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare. Don't you know?
Before we proceed, do not forget to click like, subscribe and share if you like the videos. I would like to say a huge thank you to Kun Yok and Kun Boy, the writers of this story, and also Kun Bang for sharing the first clip video last time. Now is a time for us, the fans, to support that Kinnporsche the series. Do not forget to follow their official Instagram account at Kinnporsche.official, and sometimes they have this Instagram takeover, so you're gonna see our favorite actors took over the Instagram. They're gonna come on live and do their own things. You know, this is so fun to watch. Are you ready for the journey? And this is Vegas and Pete. First, I'm gonna do a quick recap about their family background. Second, I'm gonna give you a brief introduction of Vegas and Pete. And the last one is Vegas and Pete's story. For your better understanding, I'm gonna put my first recap on the top right of the channel. Please go back and watch the first one first, and then you can come back here and you will understand things better, I promise. And this is Thira Panyakul family. Now, I will start with the family leader and I will refer to him as the grandpa. Alright, I will focus on two families. Why is it major family and minor family? The leader of the major family, his name is Gon. And for the minor family is Gan. And guys, please remember that we are focusing on only these two families. I'm not saying that these are the only two families from this family tree. I do repeat, I'm not saying that these are only two families in this family tree. Major family members consist of three sons, Tan Kun, Kin, and Kim. And most of the bodyguards you see in the story belongs to the major family. And of course, Porsche and Pete are with them. Let's move on to the minor family. Minor family consists of two sons, Vegas and Macau. These two families hated each other so much and the story tried to tell us that it's about business, money and power. Guys, and you will come to know later is this hate is from the business and money. Now, let me introduce you to Vegas and Pete. Vegas, the son from the minor family, and of course, he hated major family wholeheartedly. He tried every way to interfere and destroy whatever major family is doing, and his main target was Kin because there were so many comparisons between them. Vegas didn't want to compare himself with Tan Kun, the eldest son from the major family, since he placed Tan Kun in a different level. It's like an inferior level, you know, who's not serious about anything. Vegas' role was portrayed as an absolute bad guy in the story. He's tricky, double-faced, and heartless. Vegas knew that Kin and Porsche were having some kind of special relationship, so he's trying to break them apart. As the readers, we knew that Vegas liked Porsche and he always wanted to go in the middle to mess up everything. Now let's talk about one of my most favorite characters, Pete. Pete, a loyal bodyguard who's working under Tan Kun's group from the major family. Pete lost his parents and he stayed with his grandma and grandpa since his childhood. He was from a southern part of Thailand referred to as an island, and he didn't have a chance to go to the university. His highest education was high school. He was a friend of Porsche since they were both bodyguards. Even Pete was working under Tan Kun's group, but he could actually work for anyone in the major family. That should be enough for their background. Now let's move forward to Vegas and Pete's story. One day, Kin borrowed Pete from Tan Kun's group to work for him. And the task was to follow Vegas and try to find the evidence of how the minor family was trying to attack the major family. I mean like business-wise. Pete followed Vegas every day, and one day he got caught by Vegas when he's trying to break into Vegas' house. Anyway, Pete got all the necessary information and had transferred all the data to Kin via chat application before he got caught. Vegas found Pete, who was hiding in the room, and there it started. So if you are sensitive about this issue, kindly skip this part of video and the book, but I'm really okay with that. When the chapter was released, there was a debate among the readers in Thailand that okay, it is too aggressive and too violent, but for me, it's kind of okay. Vegas captured Pete in his room. Pete was chained and handcuffed, and Vegas treated him like a slave. There were a lot of NC scenes, but full of violence. Vegas wanted Pete to be his property since he got jealous why Pete was so loyal to the major family. So basically, I can't find a better word, but he was treated like that repetitively and violently, and of course, without his consent. And it happened repetitively day and night. I know that there are a lot of NC scenes and we usually like it, but the writer, they did a very great job because I feel like, you know what, this is kind of too much and Pete needed to be rescued. You know, sometimes Pete was even fainted. He was hit, boxed, whipped, slapped, you know, all kind of violence you could think of. And if you can remember the scene from the teaser, that whipping scene should be Pete. Okay, let's talk about how it progressed. You might think that why Hin and Kun from major family, no one was trying to search where Pete was. This was due to a miscommunication among the family, and everyone was thinking that Pete went back home in the southern part of Thailand and he was not contactable, so they thought that okay, there should be no signal, so everyone assumed that he went back home. Well, during that time, Pete learned so many things about Vegas' life and he felt sorry for Vegas, even he was treated very badly. He knew that Vegas' father married a new wife and Vegas and Margot were treated very bad from the family. There was no love nor affection, no family bond. Plus, Vegas' father or Kunkant, he hated Vegas for his sexual preference for being an LGBT also. Pete, my sweetheart, as I said, I like him a lot. He was trying to help Vegas in so many ways. For example, helping him to do his report. He was so caring for Vegas. When Vegas fell asleep on the couch, he's gonna go and cover him with the blanket, you know. When Vegas felt sad, when he got scolded by his dad, Pete's gonna come and comfort him, you know. And that created a good moment between them slowly. Yes, I'm gonna tell you that Pete was so naughty and he had an evil mind as well. I think because he stayed with Tan Kun so much, so he was kind of crazy and a little bit psycho also, in a good way though. So he watched a lot of melodramas with Tan Kun, so he was thinking to apply those plots to his situation right now. At one point of time, Pete pretended to be obedient to Vegas, hoping that one day when Vegas feels sorry for him, he's gonna release him and that's gonna be the end of the story. Like I say, Pete was trying to be good to Vegas, and finally Vegas' behavior had been changed. For example, sometimes when Pete felt hungry at night, because it was so funny, Vegas' house always served a small portion of food because trying to be the high class one, you know. Pete was always hungry and Vegas really entertained him by making an instant noodle for him at night. Or sometimes when Vegas was out of the house, he's gonna call Pete, like, what do you want to eat today? So Vegas started to care for Pete more and more without himself realizing. Another scene that I really like about this couple is when Vegas was helping Pete with shaving. Just because Vegas did not want Pete to have a shaving blade in his hand, but the moment was so good and so romantic for them. I am looking forward to see this scene in the series. Please do not cut it. This is such a precious moment and I love it a lot. And the funny thing that kept me laughing all the time just to think about it was One day they found a dead body and everyone was thinking it was Pete because of the indication, so they assumed that it was Pete. Everyone was so sad for the loss and they arranged a big funeral for Pete. They put Pete's picture in the front of the funeral. And the funny thing was, it's a Chinese tradition that you're gonna burn the thing for the one who's dead already, so those people could use this stuff in their afterlife world. And during that process, they were burning everything and the smoke was all around. That was the time Pete came back, and it was so funny and so chaotic because everyone was thinking that he was a ghost, Now, the point is, how did Pete escape from Vegas? I won't tell you. Pete escaped by himself or Vegas released him. And this scene was freaking funny and the writer did a great job because I was laughing at every line. Alright guys, that's it. I'm gonna tell you. I will make it very brief for you guys to get the idea when you follow non-Bible and non-Bill, so you have the idea like, okay, this is the storyline and how is it, so you guys can imagine whatever you want. And you know that Kinnporsche the Story recently ended online and I just read it the other day. I love it. If you ask me if it's a happy ending, I would say kind of, because they're planning for season 2 and they gave an open end and it is very interesting. I love how the end of the story is full of suspense and I like that thrill feeling. And I do apologize that I cannot help you guys with the English translation because me myself, I don't know also if they're gonna release it, but I think they will. I'm sure that this gonna get famous worldwide and at that time, I'm sure that they're gonna release the English translation at least for you guys. Before we end this video, put your support for Vegas and Pete couple below and how you like them, let me know. Now I'm not sure that I like Vegas and Pete more than Kinnporsche or not because they are so good and this is gonna be a phenomenon when it's released. I think this should be my last recap about Kinnporsche the series before the series gonna be on air. Do not forget to support them, the producers, the actors and the writers also. See you in the next clip video and I hope you guys take care. Bye!